Live 4-0 again. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? It was interesting. It was messy. It was not, quite what I think we thought we'd get, though, in some ways. I really thought we'd defensively get challenged a little bit more. Poor Mandy McGlynn didn't even get to do that much. But I'll let y'all come in. If you, for some reason, didn't watch it and are still watching this live, 4-0 win. I think generally, so obviously went up 2-0 at halftime again. Close it up to 4. The scoreline looks the same as Thursday did. I just thought it, looked different on the pitch. For me, Ali Sentnor coming on really showed what we were missing in the first half, which was that off-the-ball movement. I think she's just getting much better at it because actually I was critical of her off-the-ball movement the first half of Thursday, and then in the second half she started doing it and it made a difference. Here, instantly made a difference. I just didn't think we took advantage of what Lynn offers. So, something to consider depending on who you're going to have. Bullying Emma into putting Rose in was hilarious. I'm glad that worked. I felt so bad for these people there. Like, y'all already are in Ohio, which I'm sure there's some stuff going on there. But, like, let them see Rose Lavelle. Let them see Rose Lavelle. So I'm glad that worked out. Whose stock went up, do you think? So I do think Emma Sears' stock probably went up. I think, frankly, Ali Sentnor's went up again. Because, like, if you just look at compared to Thursday, right? Here is a player who took the notes and implemented them, into the second half Thursday. And then in the second half here, when she subs in, immediate impact. That third goal is Ali Sentnor's, even though I know she didn't touch the ball on that play. Go back and watch it. That move across the box pulls the defender out of position so that Moultrie has the space to play it to Yasmin Ryan, because before that, she didn't have that window. But Sentnor draws the defender away. All of a sudden, that gap is there, and Ryan is free to get the shot off. So for me, I love when I can see a player clearly got a note and took it and ran with it, and that's what she did. I thought Croy Bethune looked good and grew into that game a little bit. I'm sorry, Sams isn't coming. I would love to. I think Emily Sams is a player that I've understood why she's on the roster and is getting the chances. And again, I think got put in a suboptimal position today. But I wouldn't surprise me if she's not invited back. But then again, I don't know. She kept getting invited back without minutes. Olivia Moultrie, I actually thought was great today. Well, not great. I mean, I would say, I think there were a lot of good moments there because I think sometimes people wonder why she keeps getting called back in. Her set piece service is lovely. I think she's got a good vision on the distribution. I thought she did better playing deeper in the midfield than I expected her to, which is good for her long-term in this program because as we have talked about at length on here now, breaking in at the 10 is just brutal. And again, for folks who are new, I'm live on TikTok. I'm also live on YouTube. There are only 15 people in the YouTube one right now, and there are 138 of you in the TikTok, and it'll keep growing. So you have a bit of a better shot generally of having your comments seen on YouTube, although people know that now, and the comments on YouTube come very fast also, but from a smaller crowd. Thoughts on Yaz's performance? I thought better in the second half because but she was like so crowded in the first half. So, and I don't know if that was by design. I don't know if she had to adjust some things, but she got much more space, which I think, frankly, she got the space because Sentnor subbed in, and then she got to do that. So, and that's no knock on Lynn, just so we're clear. I think Lynn plays that position differently. We just didn't give her the thing to do that she's supposed to do. So, but yeah, she looked better when she got space. Let's see. I need to know Sears' training program for stamina. I don't know, man. It's insane. How is she still going? She was just still going. I take Labonta over Moultrie. I would too, but we'll see what she looks like coming back from injury. Thoughts on Tara? I thought she had some really good balls and crosses. I want to see her play with Girma against Canada. I'd like to see her play too. I mean, Bug was the stronger for me of players in this back line, but she's such an attacking threat. I'd like to see her actually get the space. Frankly, I would have liked to see her get to do what Sonnet did Thursday night. I think it would have been very fun. Thoughts on Emma Sears? I think Emma Sears has an extremely high motor, as we saw from the fact that she was still just bossing people around in the second half. She's very fast. She's got great size. And I think having a player who can play out wide and has that size is very rare. So that's good for her long term. Her first touch is killing me a little bit. How many balls did we watch her just, if she just had a bit of a better touch, we would have been fine. So that's for me the reason why I would take her. She's like third on that position, maybe even fourth, depending on who's healthy. but I think she's somebody who should still be in the mix just because, again, you do not get 5'10" players that are that fast and on the wing that often, very seldom. So let's see. Canada's a top-notch opponent. Yes, this will be interesting to see. Thoughts on Meza? I think her positional awareness is stellar. Oh, my sister is sending me corn. That's always fun. Thanks, Kate. Positional awareness is great. Defensive tackling is great. Another one where I think the first touch is a little suspect. I just need to. That's going to get cleaned up a bit. Yeah, Gurma and Bug have similar profiles. I don't disagree. They're just calm on the ball. Especially, she's 18. She's 18. Like, insane. Oh, good. A chili and a cream cone from my sister. Thoughts on the lineup we might see versus Canada? I would like to see a combination of these two lineups. So I would like to see, basically like the folks here who impressed with the folks that they might be competing against. So could we see Tara and Sonnet? I don't know that that's up for success, but could we see that, right? Give me, Lily again on the left. And then Avery. I think you still give me Avery on the right, but like give me a different center back than Sonnet, just because I want to see it, or remove Gurma, because I think Sonnet's the one that would be more on the bubble there. In the midfield, could you give me Hutton and Meza? Right, Hutton, Meza, Croy. That could be interesting, because I just don't I don't really care if we beat Canada. I don't care, but I do want to see these players that are, I think, closer to the bubble. Some you can sort down, right? I want to see these players who are closer to the bubble maybe get that shot. So it'd be interesting. Double pivot, Coffee, Sonnet. See, I don't know that you ever need to test that, right? Because I know we all know you can do it, right? That's fine. Emily Sonnet knows how to play the double pivot. You can throw her in there anytime you need to. I don't need to see what that looks like. I'd be very curious to see what Sam Meza looks like getting to play a full match with Claire Hutton. What do they both look like without Sam Coffey? We saw what Sam Meza looks like without Sam Coffey, but we also saw Sam Meza have to play with Olivia Moultrie today, who has not played that position. So that could be interesting to me. What does Croy Bethune look like when she gets to play with Ali Sentinor, right? And because that will open up the space for her to do what she was doing very well in the first half or toward the end of it. What do you look like when what does Croy look like when she has Alyssa Thompson to play with? So I would just be curious to shake some of these things up a little bit. Maybe get rid of some of the folks who are sure things and test the players again who are more on that border together and see. That would be interesting to me. Hutton's little chip ball finally worked outside of club. It did. There's no way Rose isn't starting against Canada, or else I think she would have had more minutes. I don't know. I mean, I genuinely don't know. I think she probably is starting against Canada. I think Emma's probably going to do a lineup that looks very similar to Thursday. In fact, I would not be surprised at all if it's Thursday's lineup. That wouldn't surprise me. But in terms of what I would like to see, I just think that it could be cool to see these players now who are getting a little more experience in a different combination. So, desperately want a Gurma Bug partnership. You may get it. You may get it. I don't think Bug's going anywhere. She was so mature and so calm on the ball, and you can tell she's the one. She's not calling the back line. She's not the one positionally adjusting everybody. You can see that because it was both Sam's and Tara who were doing a lot more of that, right? But she's the one though that's in the position to save everything. Not like a sweeper, nothing like that. But you can just tell she's the kind of focal point of that back line. So I think that speaks volumes. Are the Euro players back for Canada? No, they're on break the entire camp. Any reason why a Gurma Bug partnership wouldn't work? I don't want two shorts. That's not. It can work. It can work. It's just a personal preference. I would like to see a 5'10" center back. I want to see somebody a little taller in the mix. I don't want to see two short center backs. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. I just personally don't like it. It makes me uncomfy. Let's see. Any thoughts on the goalie? I mean, I don't think Mandy didn't have to do anything. I mean, she didn't even get to do shit with her feet, man. It's just such a bummer for these goalkeepers who have the matchups where they don't get tested. God, being a goalkeeper is just so hard, and breaking into the national team as a goalkeeper is so hard. It's so much about just timing and what chances you happen to get. It wouldn't surprise me if she plays Angelina Anderson, just to give her a look later this week against Canada. That wouldn't surprise me. I think it's probably going to be Claudia Dickey, but it wouldn't surprise me there. And then, she's already said that she said that Dickey, Emma has said that Dickey is having the best NWSL season of any goalkeeper. I don't disagree with that. But here's somebody who's finally got their first shot, right? Breaking in. And then you could have Angelina Anderson just like leapfrog over them if she has a really good showing against Canada. Because whatever goalkeeper plays against Canada Wednesday is actually going to get tested. So we'll see. Tara may be short, but she won every header. Well, we weren't playing a team that had any aerial threats. Right? Like, this is not the matchup that bothers me. My concern is, what do you do if you face a Sweden or a Germany? Right? You know, like, you got to have somebody in there. And it's also not even just about, you know, defensively, because you want that player to be able to get involved on the set pieces too. Like, Lindsay Horan is only 5'9". Why is she our best aerial threat? We have other players. So even if you just want to use them as a decoy, like Racing Louisville did the other day. Non-US Women's National Team question. How do you think Angel City is looking? I know you said they'd be in playoffs. Do you still believe that? Yeah, I think they can still be there. I do. I think the Savvy King medical leave was a very big setback and exposed a weakness at center back. So, you know, we do need to get some help in that position. Megan Reed should not be starting in the NWSL. That was true last season. It's true this season. Seems like a very nice person, but she's not a starting caliber center back in that league. So they need to get somebody there. And then, frankly, they need to beef up the midfield. So, and I don't know if it's another attacking mid. I'm getting the sense that he's not sold on Kennedy Fuller. So, yeah, I think if you can shore up those two things, then yeah, playoffs. Thoughts on the 7-0 win for England? I think Jamaica's just in a bad spot right now. I wouldn't read too much into it, but I know that, I mean, they seem to be feeling good about it from their socials. Did Reed drop from Canadian Women's National Team? I haven't seen her get called in there in a very long time. Like, I can't remember straight up the last time she got called in, because the Canadian Women's National Team has some of the best center backs in the world. Like, that pool is so deep for them. Oh, who's not getting called back this time? I wouldn't say that anybody here, I would say, is like done when. Let me think about that. I don't know that I would say anybody here I could rule out. I think Emily Sams is probably not getting called back, just because I can't understand why they keep calling her in. They keep calling her in and just not playing her. And then they finally played her, and they're playing her like not in her best position. So what are we doing, Emma? Cut her loose, man. Let's see. Thoughts on Sears this game? I thought Sears looked good. Other than her, first touch is luggage. That's my only concern with her. Her first touch is luggage. Let's see. Who do you think looks the most improved this camp? Again, I'm just going to shout out Ali Sentnor so far, right? So far, because we've got a whole another game. But Ali Sentnor, again, like, watch her off the ball movement. Like, literally, if you go back and compare it to the first 15 minutes of the first half against Ireland, and then you go and watch what's happening just game after game here at the 9, insane. Like, she's just picking it up so fast. So fast. It's great. And it's cool because it's not she's learning to do it in a way that's like she's not going to learn at club, because it doesn't come up in the same way in the NWSL. It's kind of the same stuff Sophia Smith had to learn last year. And we also watched Sophia Smith pick it up really quickly. So I have a feeling Emma or somebody on that training staff is very good at teaching it. But it's night and day compared to even the first 15 minutes of Thursday. Just outstanding. Can I make an updated roster after this window for locks and bubbles and see you later? Yeah, I can do that. Or I'll tell you I'm going to do it and then not. But no, I can do it. I want to do it. It's just been, like we talked about a little bit last match, I've just had a lot of stuff going on. And so unfortunately, when both work and personal life heat up in any way, if they both go off, it's like this has to kind of, your side quest has to side itself a little bit. So, but that's my ambition. So, okay, let's see. When will they announce the opponents for October? I got no idea. It could be really at any time. I think you can rule out any European opponents because they're going to have Nations League that window. So you're probably looking at, some combination of the usual suspects. Like, do you see Australia or Brazil again or Japan? Probably that. Does anyone know what the surprise Rose gave the fans was? I do not know. Be interesting to see a more mixed lineup against a very physical team. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is can you mix? I personally would like to see a mixture of Thursday's lineup and today's lineup against Canada. Let's test them in there together. Like, remove the people who are more stable and like, you know, for sure are going to be 2027, remove some of those people and let the rest of them, but like give them the more stable. I feel like Claire Hutton right now is pretty stable in the pool, right? Like put Claire Hutton in with Sam Meza. I want to see it. Do you think Sentnor will end up at a better club after these national team appearances? Listen, I don't even think she would need to go to the national team here to get a better club, because if you watch Utah, like it's her. It's her, right? So like everyone's aware of Ally Sentnor. It's just, you know, who's going to make a move and is Utah going to be willing to part with her? That's really the question. I hope she goes to a better club. I hope she goes anywhere, frankly. I don't even care. People are like, what's a good club for her? I'm like, anywhere but this. So what are the tactical differences between playing NWSL and playing for country? So the biggest one is just that NWSL is transitional. And the U.S. women's national team faces a lot of teams that know they're outmatched and will play a mid-block. It's almost always a mid-block now. It's very seldom that low block. But you're not playing free-flowing soccer. So you have to do that off-the-ball movement to create gaps. That's the big thing. Who's a must-take for you for 2027? Increasingly, Alyssa Thompson. Who's your USA player of the year so far? I don't know. I got to think about that. I would love for her to join ACFC. I'm assuming that's Sentnor. Not going to lie, would Sentnor fit at ACFC? I think she would take Fuller out. Well, if she wanted to play the 10, right? I think she could displace Riley Tiernan too, frankly. Savvy didn't get to see Croy and Rose in the midfield together, and you probably won't. You probably won't. It's too like for me. Too like for like. Why do they keep trying more center back pairings? Well, one, I mean, there's just you got no guarantees of injury, right? Because it was Tierna and it was Naomi. So you got to have something. And heaven forbid, what do you do if you don't have Germa, right? Like, what do you do there? And we didn't, like, center back depth was a problem. Like, if you look at 2023, right, when Becky got injured, they had to slot Julie Ertz back there. That's why they're going to keep trying it. Where would I want Sentnor to play? I mean, I wouldn't hate Angel City. I mean, shit, man, I wouldn't hate if she want to come to Arsenal. Like, wouldn't hate that. That's a very similar, like, if she wanted to come play, yeah, I mean, honestly, playing at Arsenal would be interesting because she'd get to learn a lot of the same skill set. And she'd get to learn it from, you know, Russo. And I think she'd be more of a Russo than a Stina. So I think that could be really interesting for her. Does Fox come back to the NWSL? She's thriving at Arsenal. I think it fits her play. I think she can come back anytime she wants, but why? I mean, she's best right back in the world. She can go wherever she wants. Really, the question is, when does Leon call her? Do you think Bug or McKeon is starting next game? I think it's going to be McKeon. Let's see. How do you feel about Jónsdóttir at? Sorry, y'all. I got to work on my Icelandic pronunciation. I'm like, I could sweet it up for you, but we'll do that. How do I feel about her at Angel City? Marquee signing for me. Fantastic. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. I just think she's stellar, and you're getting her at a good age. So let's see. Do you think Sentnor has gotten calls from other teams? Why would she stay at Utah? Well, because I mean, she's under contract at Utah. And I think too, like she just doesn't strike me as the kind of player that wants to jump ship. Like she's, you know, she was one of their big signature players to be there. I don't think she's going to give up on it that fast. That's just not my sense of who she is. But I do think at some point here, you know, all eyes on 2027. If it looks like that's going to be a bubble, and right now I think she's on the right side of the bubble, but still the bubble, you got to go somewhere else. So be a little selfish. Wouldn't hate a Sentnor loan to Thorns now that Hayes is out. I assume you mean Hanks, but yeah, is out for the season. I wouldn't hate it either. And now that we can loan within the league. So, but they're never loaning her out. Like that's the thing, y'all, is Utah knows she's their only, like, what are they going to do? They've got a young player who I think they want to keep happy and would like to keep there long-term. They're not going to let her go that easy. Why hasn't Flint been called up? I mean, she fell out of the pool like in 2023 and just hasn't even been flirting with it. Like, I mean, she's not even, okay. So anytime you have a tournament, national team, they have to give like a list a month or so before the tournament of like 53 players that could be called up for that tournament. Flint has not even been making that list recently. So, you know, she's just off the radar for whatever reason. It happens. It's a rough pool, very rough pool. So Lynn was playing forward, midfield, and defense. Yes, she was. And her work rate is stellar. She's, as she always says, the best defender, defending attacker you'll find. I don't disagree with that. I think that's great. Let's see. Yeah, chances another forward emerges are pretty high. Yeah, I mean, like you look at Hanks at Portland was apparently going to get called in here, and I think we all would have liked to see what happens if Riley Tiernan keeps scoring goals. I think she's going to get called in here at some point. There's just that front line is brutal. The front line in the 10, it's like breaking in there is just rough. It's really challenging. So you got to do what you can to keep your spot. Let's see. McKeon looks really good. I think she's going to be a candidate for 27. I think so too. Thoughts on Alyssa this past camp? I mean, so far for me, she's like, assuming there's no regression, she's on that 2027 roster. She's not even a bubble. Like if we made the roster today, she's starting as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it's a close call. Where do you find a list of 53 players? It depends on the tournament. So, yeah, it just depends. Usually it's on whoever's like in charge of the tournament's website. Like if it was, for example, for Gold Cup, I think it was on like CONCACAF's website. Sam Meza thoughts. I think, again, good positional awareness, good defensive tackling. Touch is a little sus for me in that position. And I don't want to have somebody playing defensive mid with a sus first touch. But she'll get better. Like, she's getting a lot better. Player of the match. Like, I think it kind of has to be Sears. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Sentnor for me was really the game changer. But, you got to give Sears her dues for all her running. Do I think Ashley Sanchez will ever get called back in? I do not. No, I think she's done. All right, y'all. This has been fun. I have to go make my bed. I shit you not. That is the first thing on my to-do list once I get up from here and get all that done before the men play because I'm going to care about them today a little bit. And then I have Love Island. I'm watching Love Island and I'm ready to vote Taylor off today. That's what I want to do. That's my big Sunday plan. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me. We'll be back Wednesday. If you don't already follow or subscribe, please do so because it's cool. And yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out. Let's fucking go. See you Wednesday. And you too. Good to see you again. This is fun watching this one grow. So see you all Wednesday.